Hi, welcome to In the Studio with Kate. This is week 26 of my ongoing series of just sharing what happens in my art studio each week. This past week, I've done a bunch of things for classes and a bunch of personal things, so I'm going to share a few of those. I have been working on this painting that I started in Oaxaca, Mexico for, it seems like forever. I'm finally ready just to say it's done. So here we are. And it's the buildings, the three figures, and a dog. This is supposed to be Katja, the cute little dog we saw when we were there. So anyways, there's my painting. I chose to put my tall central figure that her eyes are closed. It's like she's just communing with something or whatever. But anyways, I had really fun, stretched a lot doing this painting, bringing the figures out and seeing what else was going to occur. So I'm happy that it's done. I kind of like the composition, what's going on here, that I might even take the same idea and end up turning it into a painting on canvas. The better about painting on paper is you always get this ripply effect and you really just can't get rid of it. So it's hard to frame something like this. But sometimes I just take stuff like these and just still stick them to my wall so I can view them for a while. Or I could, actually have a print made of it, which is another idea I hadn't thought of. It would be a print, not original anymore, but still an interesting thing. For my class, the Moon Art Mew, I just made this little collage for this quote. And I'm going to read the quote for you, for those who aren't taking the class. Maybe the wolf is in love with the moon, and each night it cries for a love it will never touch. I thought that was really cool. So, of course, I had to have a picture of a wolf howling. And the moon, which is almost full. So that's why we just see a little bit of the moon isn't completely whole. So I did that. And then on the day that, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, the moon was in Leo. Leo's all about creativity and playfulness. So I did some experimenting with some moon shapes and acrylic ink. Acrylic ink, spray bottle, a paintbrush is all I used to create these. So there's a lot of interesting patterns going on in them. And a few of these, this one in particular, I actually made by putting it on when I was working on to soak up some of the ink. So some of the patterns are really spread because of that. This one is another one I did that way, but I really like some of the colors in this. In fact, I think it's this one. Almost looks like there's an animal in here, up here, in that area. There's this one, which I used the paintbrush to spread some of that around. And this last one, also I used a paintbrush to do some of the the dots, some of that little spidery looking stuff. Also done with the paintbrush, but this is a lot of fun to do. So that was kind of a fun experiment. Then for painting the feminine, I have several things to show. One is, okay, it's the second page here. I think that's a sweet face that came out. That one, and this next one is a 2-page spread, a little exploration in a landscape. It's very ocean inspired, stormy seas, that kind of feeling. And then the next one, this one on the right isn't finished, it's still a work in progress, so I'll just try to show this one of a woman looking through a portal. And so that one was a lot of fun to do. I use a lot of metallic oil pastels with it to bring some of that color out. This other one, I'll show you when it's more. Then this one, I don't know what was going on, but it's definitely an interesting piece. I was really having problems with the colors coming out, not being able to use black and so forth. So that was one I did last night. I think that's all for feminine. And then this morning I saw someone do this drawing on the Sketchbook School website, so I attempted to draw the same thing. And it was this little birdie. And I have looked the bird up to see what kind of bird it was, and it is a bridled titmouse. But this is in my sketchbook, The Perfect Sketchbook, which was a Kickstarter project. So those are some of the fun things that I have done this week. I did a lot of spinning and weaving over last weekend. Well, not a lot of weaving, but I actually got my loom all ready to go, and I'll be able to be doing some weaving soon. So, but those are the things that I've done this week. It's a little varied, all sorts of different kinds of stuff. I did do something in the 12th journal, but I don't have it at my hand, so I'm not going to share that this week. Maybe next week. So I hope you're out in your studio and that you're getting some time to actually work on your own creativity. If you are, I would love to see what you've been doing. Feel free to share in the comments. And until next week, let's keep creating. Bye.